So we're going to do some Pilates and yoga this morning. So to start off with, I think we'll begin just lying down on your back. And you can bring the knees up so the feet are flat on the floor. And just placing one hand on your belly and one hand on your chest. So just allowing yourself to settle down onto the mat and observing the body, particularly observing the rise and fall of your belly and your chest as you breathe in and out. Just taking these first few moments to settle yourself onto the mat and observe the breath. Noticing whether the breath is flowing more into your hand over the belly or your hand over the chest. Noticing if the breath is smooth and even, whether it's deep or shallow. And then taking the breath down into the belly, expand the belly as much as you can. And as you exhale, allow the body to relax. Another breath into the belly, expanding the belly, pushing the belly out. And exhaling, relaxing the body. Taking one more breath into the belly. And exhale, relax. And then just returning to normal breathing. We're going to begin the class with some core engagement. So working with the transverse abdominis, which is the lower abdominal muscles that run between the hips across the body, and the pelvic floor, which is the sling of muscles and tissue that holds up the bladder and bowel. So engaging and drawing up with pelvic floor, in with your transverse abdominis. Going to lift the right foot as you inhale and extend as you exhale, and bringing that foot back in as you inhale and extend the left foot as you exhale. Each time that you inhale, see if you can engage that lower abdominal or the T-zone in the Pilates terminology a little bit more. And each time you exhale, drawing the ribs down towards your hips. So we want to keep the back in a neutral position on the floor. Working with the breath, exhaling with the extension of the leg. And just observing what's happening around the pelvis, trying to keep the hips level so they're not rocking around, keeping the neck and shoulders relaxed. Perhaps even placing both fingers down on the top of the pubic bone so you can feel the engagement of your lower abdominal muscles. So we want to keep those working. And we'll just do one more on each side. And then coming back to center, one leg at a time, lifting up into tabletop position, keeping that core absolutely solid. If you're not unable to keep the core solid, stay with the lift and extend. Otherwise, extending the right leg down towards the bottom of the mat, bring it back with the inhale. Exhale, extend the left leg. If you're finding that this is too difficult, you can extend the leg not to the bottom of the mat, but just up a little higher. So the lower down you bring that leg, the more difficult it is. If you want an easier option, you can extend the leg out 45 degrees. So keeping it a little higher will be an easier for you to hold that core. So taking it to whichever level you are comfortable with, being able to keep control of the core. Exhale, extend, neck and shoulders remain relaxed. And we'll just do one more on each side. And then we're going to keep the legs in tabletop. Now we're just going to tap down. We're going to keep the leg bent and tap down 1 foot at a time. So keeping the knees apart and the feet together, diamond taps. Tapping down one toe and then bring it back up. Try and keep the knee bent. We're not bending the knee. So bring your feet together, take your knees apart. Feet together, knees apart into a diamond. And then keep the bend in the knee the same. You've got a right angle bend in your knee. Keep that all the time. So we're just moving the leg down and up. That's it. So we're now getting a little bit more work into the outside edges of those transverse abdominal muscles. Really focusing on keeping the hips level, the neck and shoulders relaxed, transverse abdominis engaged, pelvic floor engaged. So one more on each side, coming back to center. Now we're going to bring the knees together. So we're really working strongly into this core today. Knees together, squeeze the knees together, take the arms out to the side, and working into pendulum. Just taking the knees across until you can feel your obliques engage, and then coming back. So the obliques being those muscles around the side of the waist, knees squeezing together. Do not let them slide, do not let them part. Inhale as you come across, exhale, bringing them back. Working with the breath. Keeping your feet parallel to the floor. So we're in that tabletop position. Inhaling across, exhaling back. Feeling that work in the obliques around the side of the waist. Making sure your neck and shoulders are staying relaxed. And we'll just do one more on each side here. Now we're going to come back to center and finally let those legs come down and relax. Stretching your legs out to the bottom of the mat. We're going to place the hands onto the thighs. We're just going to come up into a low boat position. So either lifting the head and shoulders or lifting up onto the tailbone, stretching out the fingertips towards the bottom of the mat, keeping that core engaged and breathing. Make sure your neck and shoulders are relaxed. So if you can, get all the way up onto the tailbone, coming all the way up, breathing here. One more breath, and then coming down and soften and relax. Working with single leg raises now, keeping the legs straight. So we're going to inhale, take the right leg up towards the ceiling. Draw the toes towards your face so we can feel that stretch down the back of the leg. And exhale, taking that down to the mat and relax. And then the other side. Bringing the left leg up. Use the whole breath to bring the leg up and the whole exhale to take the leg down and relax. So we're getting two things here. We're getting the core activation and we're also getting the stretch into the back of the thigh. So the stretch will be more intense if you draw the toes up towards your face. Working with the breath. So making this the last one. And then we're going to bring that right leg up. Keep it there. Hold on to the back of the knee or the back of the thigh. And then exhale, lifting your upper body. So making sure that core is engaged or T-zone is engaged. Drawing your nose towards your knee. Breathing here for a moment. Now as you inhale, lengthen the spine. As you exhale, coming back to the mat, but take the leg with you. Take a breath in. Exhale, lift. Inhale, come back to the mat, take the leg with you. Trying to stretch the back of that leg. We're using the abdominal muscles, but we're also getting a nice stretch for the hamstring. Exhale, lifting. Inhale, coming back down, take the leg just a little further. Two more like that. Try to keep that leg straight. Try to draw it down with you each time you come back to the mat. And then the last time you come down, you can stay there, maybe taking hold of your big toe or maybe taking hold of some part of your leg and really pressing out into the back of that leg. Try to keep the core engaged and your left hip on the floor, and then taking that leg out to the side, opening out to the side. Pressing out through the back of the knee. Breathing here. Feeling that stretch on the inner leg now. And we're just going to bring that back to center. And you can take hold of the other hand, so left hand to the right leg, and just taking it across the body slightly. So I don't want you lifting the hips off. I just want you to feel that stretch down the whole outside edge of the leg and maybe up into the glute. Taking one more breath here, and then bringing that leg back to center. And we can take that straight leg all the way down to the mat. Press out through the heel, lengthen that leg. Use as many breaths as you need to bring it down to the mat, working nice and slowly. And then relaxing that leg, relaxing the whole body, and maybe noticing the effect of that practice, maybe difference between the two sides. Now the other leg, we'll inhale, take that left leg up, draw the toes towards your face, holding on to the back of the leg. Exhale, lifting up, bringing the nose towards the knee, lengthening the spine, breathing here. Taking one more breath, and then as you inhale, bringing that leg back down with you. And exhale, lifting. Inhale, back to the mat, bring the leg with you. Try to keep the toes pointing up towards your face. Using the breath. Each time you inhale, engage that that T-zone, and each time you exhale, sinking down, drawing that leg with you. One more. And then taking hold of your toe or some part of your leg, stretching out the back of that leg, and then taking it out to the side. Trying to keep the right hip on the mat. The hips are level. Pressing out through the back of the knee and the heel, keeping that leg nice and straight. And inhale, coming back to center. Taking the opposite hand onto that leg and just taking it across until you can feel that stretch down the side of the leg and into the glute. And then coming back to center. Keeping that leg nice and straight. Taking that down slowly, using as many breaths as you need to bring it down to the mat. And then releasing down. And allowing your body just to rest for a moment, noticing the effects of that practice. Okay, we're going to roll over onto our stomachs now. So we're just going to work with Cobra. Starting out with baby Cobra, we're just taking the hands down under the shoulders. Inhale, lifting the head and neck, upper back, pull the shoulder blades down. Exhale, bringing yourself back to the mat and relax. So we're just feeling that stretch along the belly, working a little bit into the shoulder blades. Inhaling up, exhaling down. Also getting some support for the lower back. We'll just do 2 more like this with your own breath. Make sure that your shoulders relax fully when you come down. Try and keep those glutes soft. And then the next one, coming all the way up into Cobra, pressing into the hands, drawing yourself all the way back, holding and breathing, opening out through the front of the body, feeling that lovely stretch across the belly. Pull the shoulder blades down, lengthen the neck. 1 more breath, and then exhaling down. Bringing the hands under the forehead, just relax for a moment. And then we'll move to the lower half of the body now. So we're just going to start with locust, bringing the palms underneath the thighs. Inhale, the right leg comes up. Exhale, take it down. And then changing sides. Inhaling the left leg up, exhaling down. See if you can relax through your backs of your legs, your thighs, and your pelvis and your buttocks when you come down. Try and keep the neck and shoulders relaxed. You're not doing this work with the upper part of the body, it's just the lower part that's working. Moving from side to side, letting the breath lead the movement. Working slowly and continuously. And finishing up on the left side, we're going to bring the feet together and lift both legs together now. Inhaling up, exhaling down, letting everything relax. Two more like this. And then releasing down. Once again, relaxing for a moment with the fingers under the forehead or the head turned to the side. And then we're going to turn over onto your right side. And we're going to start on clams. So we're working with the glutes now. I can get my earpiece to stay in my head. So tucking the knees in to a 45-degree angle, the feet should be in line with the spine. You're going to make a gap under the waist by pushing the top hip down towards the bottom of the mat and sticking the tailbone out the back. Make sure your neck is relaxed so your head is laying down on your arm. And then engaging your gluteus maximus, we're going to inhale, open the knee, and exhale, close. Try to make sure the hips stay right on top of each other. So we're just working into gluteus maximus, the big round muscle in the back of the bum. Squeezing the heels together. Perhaps putting your hand onto your back pocket of your jeans so that you can feel that muscle working. So as you open or contract the muscle, as you close, relax the muscle. Inhaling, feel the muscle work. Exhaling, feel it relax. And just working 3 more of these clams. And then we're going to stretch the leg long, make some circles with the toe, pointing the toe. So little circles, keeping that leg as far back as you can. Keeping the leg higher, the foot higher than the hip. Little circles from the leg, and then changing direction. And then bringing those legs down again. Straightening the leg out once more. We're going to come into zigzags next. So bring the toes to the front of the mat, tap them down. Lift, sweep back, and up towards the ceiling. Sweeping forward, tap towards the floor, sweeping back, up towards the ceiling. So we're making a Z shape with your foot. Down to the mat, across, and up to the ceiling. Try and keep that foot above the level of the hip as you're sweeping it, and taking it as far back as you can when you're going back. So we're moving across the body, making that Z shape. 3 more like this. And you should be feeling that all around the hip now. The gluteus muscles should be really working hard and bringing that leg back. Next, we're going to bring the knees up in line with the hips. So the knees in front of the hips as if you're sitting in a chair. Still keeping that gap under the waist and the tailbone out the back. And then lifting the top leg. So we're coming into that fire hydrant lift now. The whole leg lifting up, inhaling up, exhaling down. Again, making sure that your hips do not rock. We want to isolate the hip extensor muscle, which is right underneath the seat bone. So perhaps putting your fingers there so you can feel that muscle contract. And as you come down, let it relax. So we want these muscles to be functional. We want them to switch on and off. And we'll just do 3 more here. All right, now stretching the legs out long so your whole body's in a line. And just lifting the top leg. Now we're going to feel that on the side of the leg, the ITB and the TFL. Inhale, lifting, exhale down. Three more like this. And then you can draw the knee in towards your chest, hold on to your big toe or some part of your leg and stretch that leg up towards the ceiling. And releasing that leg, place it down, and we'll roll over onto your back. Just taking a moment on your back to neutralize the spine. And then coming to the other side. So once again, allowing your head to just rest down on your arm. You want to be fully relaxed through the neck and shoulders. Starting off with the clams. The knees are bent in a 45-degree angle, so the heels are directly under the spine. Making the gap in the waist and the tailbone out the back. And then opening the knees. Inhale, open. Exhale, down. Feeling that in gluteus maximus. Letting the muscle contract and then letting it relax. Working with the breath, keeping the core engaged, neck relaxed. 3 more. And then stretching the leg out long, making your little circles. First in one direction, keeping the leg higher than the hip and taking it as far back as you can. And the other direction. Trying to isolate that movement, just the leg working. And then bringing the leg down. And then working into zigzags. So straightening out the leg, take it to the front, tap down, lift, sweep back up to the ceiling. Inhaling as you sweep, exhaling as you tap. Making sure those hips just stay completely level. Core is engaged, neck's relaxed. Using the breath. Feeling that in all the muscles around the glutes now. Making this the last one. And then relaxing down. Now stretching the legs out long and taking that top leg up to the ceiling and relaxing down. So we're feeling that now in the ITB and the TFL on the side of the leg. Three more like this. And then drawing those knees up to the front of the mat so you're like you're sitting in a chair 90 degrees and opening the whole knee, feeling that in the hip extensors. Tailbone out the back. Three more. And then releasing down. You can take hold of your big toe, stretch that leg up to the ceiling. And release down, coming on to your back again. Bringing your feet in close to your body and your heels just slightly wider than your hips. And work into bridge, tucking the tailbone up, lifting one vertebrae at a time off the mat. Coming all the way up as high as you can. Perhaps clasping the hands underneath your back and walking the shoulders under. So you can maybe lift a little higher. Squeeze the glutes and lift yourself as high as you can. Press into the feet. Keep the knees parallel. And now relax the glutes. Just let them become soft. Holding yourself there. Breathing. One more breath here. Keeping the glutes soft, release the hands and allow yourself to curl down one vertebrae at a time. Keeping them soft, rolling down. And once you've come down to the mat, you can draw the knees into the chest for a little hug, just rock from side to side. And then we'll come over onto our hands and knees. So first of all, working with some push-ups. So we're going to work on shoulder strength now. So we're just going to bend the elbows close to the body, take the chest towards the floor, move forward with the chest, and then press up, and then come back. So a little square box. Bending down just as far as you can, hold your shoulders down. So it doesn't matter how far down you come, as long as your shoulders are not hunching up. So I want you to pull the shoulders down, draw your chest towards the floor, move forward, and then come up, pushing up, come back. Even if it's just a small movement, that's fine. Pull the shoulders down. Use the strength of your shoulders to bring you back up. Good. And we'll just do two more like this. And then we're going to change direction. So now we're going to lean forward, bring the chest towards the floor, push back and push up. So different set of muscles being worked here. Feeling that quite strongly through the triceps maybe. Making sure those elbows stay close to the body. We're not winging out with the elbows. Two more. And then once you've completed there, maybe sitting back into pose of the child just to let your shoulders relax. Okay, coming down onto your belly. So we're just going to work up into plank. So we're going to start with the knees, staying on your knees. So placing the hands underneath your shoulders, you're going to pull the belly in, push yourself up with your shoulders, and stay on your knees. So you've got a long line between the crown of the head and the knees. Holding there and breathing. Pull the shoulder blades down. So you're not in a banana shape. Your hips are in line with your shoulders and your knees. It's not necessary to have straight arms. If your arms are bent, that's okay. Holding and breathing. And then coming back down and relax, either with the hands under the forehead or with the hands beside the body, and the head turned to the side. Okay, now either staying on the knees or you can try coming right up onto the toes this time. So same things, hands under the shoulders, engage the core, pull the belly in, push yourself up into plank, either on the knees or on the toes, pull the shoulder blades down. Breathing here, nice long line. Press out through the back of the knees. Nice work, Jan. Breathe. Strong work for the core. One more breath. And then come down through the knees, down to the mat. Resting the head, resting the arms. So we're going to come into a side plank next. So I'm just going to have you come either onto your elbow or on your hand. It's up to you which one you'd like to go for. I prefer to have my arms straight when I'm doing side plank, but try not to let yourself compress through that shoulder. So you want to keep lifting out from the shoulder. And then placing your top foot over the front for support. We're going to lift up into that side plank, holding here. So lifting your hips off the floor, pressing onto that leg, straighten your bottom leg out, Jan. That's it. So we want to press onto the bottom leg. It's the front leg is just there for support or for guidance. It's the bottom leg that you're lifting up on. Holding and breathing. Come down on your elbow if it's hurting your wrist. One more breath. And then coming back down and just releasing down to your belly, relaxing. So it's strong work for your shoulder, strong work for your obliques. And then moving over to the other side. So if you're on your elbow, you can just bring your hand to the front. The bottom leg needs to be straight because that's your supporting leg. The front leg is just there for guidance and to take some of your weight. And then lifting the legs off. So lifting the hips off. So you're pressing into the side of the ankle on that bottom leg. Feeling that work in the oblique muscles. Lifting away from the shoulders. So we're getting some shoulder strength and all that work in the obliques. Taking one more breath here and then sinking down and resting on your stomach. Just gonna move my mat a little bit. Okay, so now we're going to take the hands down beside your body and we're going to work with flying. So keeping your glutes soft, keeping the lower body soft. I'm going to inhale, raising the hands up, palms towards the ceiling. Exhale, bringing them around towards the shoulders. Inhale, stretching them to the front. Exhale, back to the shoulders. Inhale, pressing the palms to the ceiling. Exhale, down and relax. So do that a couple more times. Inhale, lifting the palms to the ceiling. Exhale, rotating the palms to the floor at the shoulders. Inhale, taking them to the front, above the head. Exhale to the shoulders. Inhaling to the back and down. Relax. If you like a little extra work, you can do that by lifting the upper body as well. So inhaling, coming up, exhaling around and back and down. So working into your version of this, whichever is best for you, working with your breath rhythm. And we'll just do 3 more like that. And when you've completed, you can rest again with the fingers under the forehead or the head turned to the side. And then we'll come up to standing. Work with our balance. So just taking a moment to stand in Tadasana, big toes together, heels slightly apart. And just observing the body, observing the posture. Perhaps spreading the toes by lifting the toes, spread them and then place them back down on the floor. Now we're just going to lift up onto the heels. Sorry, lift up onto the toes. So lifting the heels off the mat and just holding here for a moment. Breathing. Good. Now come back down. We'll just do a few up and down using the arms. We're going to inhale, lifting up. And exhale, coming down. Just observing, how is your balance today? Mine feels a little wobbly. So we'll synchronize the breath with the movement. Lifting up onto the toes. Exhaling down. 2 more like that. Okay, now we're going to close the eyes and lift the heels. Make sure you're breathing. One more breath here. And then bring the heels down, open the eyes. Now we're ready for tree pose. So taking the weight into your left foot, bring your right foot up. Placing that foot wherever is comfortable on your leg. Try not to place it on the knee joint. And then bringing hands to heart center, and lifting up and away from the hips. See if you can draw the knee out to the side a little more, pressing the leg to the foot and the foot to the leg. Just taking one more breath here, and releasing the hands down, releasing the foot down. Taking your weight into your right foot, bring your left leg up. Bringing hands to heart and working into that posture by lifting away from the hips. Pressing that leg out to the side. Taking one more breath here, and then releasing down. So we're just going to stretch out the side body, doing quite a bit of work for the obliques. We're going to inhale, reaching up, taking hold of your left wrist with your right fingertips, and then reaching across to the side, Ardha Chakrasana. Opening out through that side body. Close the eyes and breathe into any of those places in your body which are feeling tension, anything that's clenching to hold you here. See if you can release and relax through that side body. Enjoying the compression to the spine on your right side and the stretch across the whole left side of the body. Stimulating the spine. Inhale, coming back to center. Exhale, bring the hands down. Just taking a moment to notice the difference between the two sides. Then inhaling, taking the arms up, circling your right wrist with your left fingers. Stretch the arms across, and then coming over to the side. Making sure that you haven't twisted to the front. Breathing here, softening the body. Enjoying this practice. One more breath here. And inhaling, coming back to center. Exhale, taking the hands down. And we'll just fold forward and back. So starting off with a back bend, you're going to place the hands just behind the sacrum there, lifting out through heart center, opening up through the front of the body, just taking that little extension through the front of the body. And then exhale, we can slide the hands around, coming down and allowing the whole body just to hang. Perhaps allowing the fingertips to touch the floor, or perhaps just holding onto the wrists. Bring the weight forward onto the toes. And enjoy that decompression of the spine as gravity takes control of the upper body. Also got some benefits now to the digestive system as well. Just taking one more breath here. And we can curl back up. Just allowing the hands to draw up the body, tucking the tailbone under, uncurling the spine. And then we'll come back down to the mat. See if we can do that without using the hands. We're just going to work into a seated twist. So bringing your legs in front of you. We'll take the left leg and place the foot on the other side of the knee. And then wrapping the right elbow around the front of the knee and lifting the rib cage over the thigh. Turning to face the back of the room. As you inhale, lengthen the spine, and as you exhale, turn just a little further. Try to keep that right foot active. Draw the toes up towards your face on the right foot. Try to keep the weight out of the back left hand. Turning with your head and turning with your eyes. Breathing here. And then coming back through center. Releasing that leg. And bringing the other foot up, taking it across. Lengthening out through the spine. Wrapping your left arm around the right knee. Lifting the ribs across. Working your way around. Keeping your straight leg active. Relaxing the shoulders. Breathing. And just taking one more breath here. And then coming back to center. Releasing. And giving that a little shake. And then once again, coming back down onto your back. We'll just take a moment to adjust your spine. So we're just going to come into a rolling bridge, placing the feet flat on the floor. And tucking the tailbone up, rolling one vertebrae at a time up just onto the shoulders with the inhale. And then rolling back down with the exhale. Relax fully when you come back down. And then inhale, tucking the tailbone, rolling up just onto the shoulders. Exhaling, rolling down. And just continuing with this movement, using the breath. Just massaging each little vertebrae in the spine as you're rolling. Noticing which muscles are feeling a little bit tight and letting them go. And making this the last one. Once you've completed, you can just slide the legs one at a time down to the bottom of the mat and rest in Shavasana. Allow the feet to flop out to the sides. Soften through the buttocks. Allow the palms to face up to the ceiling. Relax the shoulders. Soften through the face. Relax the jaw. Put a little smile on your face. Softening around the eyes and the mouth. And just allowing the whole body to become fully relaxed. Letting go of tension. Letting go of anything that no longer serves you. And then gradually becoming more aware of your surroundings. Becoming fully aware of your whole body laying on the mat. Gently beginning to move fingers and toes, taking a few deeper breaths. Taking your time, whenever you're ready, rolling to your left side, remaining there for a moment. And then coming back to your comfortable seated position, and we'll finish with Om. Bringing hands into heart center, closing the eyes, taking a nice deep breath in. Namaste. Thank you for joining me today.